I fan out over everybody.
That's nice.
Who's not a fan of Rihanna?
Yeah.
Disturbia, I put that song over my first ever YouTube video.
Oh.
Yeah, I should have told her that actually.
Gigi Getty, aka Gigi Gorgeous, is a YouTube star, transgender activist, author, and LGBTQIA+ icon who's been intimately sharing her life and journey online since 2009. And that's why today she's in the creator spotlight. Gigi, it is amazing to have you here because we've known each other for quite some time, but it's been a while.
It has been a while, and this is true.
And we're still here.
We're still here. We're still kicking.
We are. How long have you been creating online? Has it been 15 years?
I started in, probably 15 years.
Yeah.
Started my YouTube channel. Mm-hmm.
And now...
Never thought it would take me to where it has.
Yeah. Let's get into monetization. Let's get into like the business of Gigi.
Yeah.
Right? Has that changed over the years?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in the beginning, no money in it. Not at all. I don't even know if I was asked into the AdSense program for the first year I was on YouTube. There was no money. I was not planning on making money. I was just wanting to flex my creative muscle and just create and learn about makeup and also like meet people, like-minded people, because in Toronto where I grew up, it was a nice suburban area, and there was a city close by which I would like skip school and like go hang out in Toronto downtown, which was more artsy, but in my everyday life there was none. And then over the years, got a manager, got a team, and now it's like a full-fledged business. It's like my full-blown career and has been for years.
Are there some years that are better than other years in terms of the brand deals, the money, the partnerships and all that?
Oh, for sure. I've always said that it's a business that like really ebbs and flows. It is a pendulum, and whenever, it's hitting and I'm all in, and then when it's not, it's not. But that goes back to the whole mindset situation, because you can overthink it. You can be like, what's not hitting? What do I need to change about myself to get that brand deal? Or there's a saying that comparison is the thief of joy. Mm-hmm. And I think that is so easy to do in this business. Like, this girl is prettier. She is popping off right now. I need that dress. I need that outfit. Like her recent video is doing better than mine and all that stuff. And I think that you just got to stay in your own lane, stay authentic to who you are. And, you could try certain things, but don't change who you are.
I want to know the first brand deal you remember doing.
One of the first ones that was really, really big that I'll never forget was I worked with Crest. I was living back at home. I was obviously doing my thing online, and Crest reached out and they were like, we really want to work with her. We want to do a whole campaign with her. I didn't really realize what a campaign was. Like, I was like, I'm promoting their toothpaste, which it's a household toothpaste. I was like, they're paying me? Like, I already use their stuff, like every person does. And then Shoppers Drug Mart, which is the drugstore in Canada, put my face all over in every single store across the country. And this is like the biggest thing I've ever done. Like, from, internet to real life, like, this is a big deal, especially being trans. Going in and seeing my face everywhere, I remember that was crazy. And my dad went in, and he knew the money that was coming in, and he was proud of me. Yeah. I think he thought I was maybe lying a little bit about the money. I'd be like, this video, Dad, I got this. And he was like, okay, yeah, wow. Like, if she's telling the truth, then that's really major. But this one, it was real for him. And ever since that moment, I think that was a brand deal that really changed my my family's perspective on my career.
Do you find as you show more of yourself that you become more picky about what you want to align with?
100%. I think at the beginning, I used to just always take whatever came to me.
Yeah.
I was like the yes person of life. I was like, yep, I'll take it. Like, they want to pay me this. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Like, I'll take this. This could all go away soon. Like, I just want to impress everybody. But a few years in, it's giving like, no, that doesn't work. I can't do that. Like, I don't use that, or that doesn't align with my brand. My people aren't going to like that. Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's such a reach. But I think how it's changed though, from their point of view, and the way that they strategize working with whoever they want to work with, is before there really was no understanding of how it would be perceived online, because there were so few people doing brand deals. So the asks that you would get, the talking points, the the bullshit that they would ask you to say, I'd be like, that's not going to work. I don't want to say that. But, on the other hand, I'm not going to get paid if I don't do it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time I was like, the wording is so wrong. You need to let me have creative control, like in some capacity. Like I know what I'm doing. And now it's much more open. And I think there's just a lot more open-mindedness.
Do you feel like also brands understand the queer community and the LGBTQ community, including with Pride? People talk about how people just talk about all this stuff during Pride, and support the community during Pride.
Put the rainbow flag up in the window of the store just for the month.
Yeah.
Rip it down the last day of June.
Our Pride cups are not available as of today.
Literally to the clock minute.
So what do you think about that and how brands approach their support?
I at the beginning of working with brands, I would always feel so proud to be like one of the first trans people that they would ask, or maybe the first or only. And now I think it's just a lot more normalized. It's kind of expected to include and keep campaigns diverse and hire a bunch of different folks. I think it is frustrating. It's always such a thing between my friends and people in the community. It's like we laugh about it. It's like this company does nothing for the entire year and maybe even has like been against it seemingly. And then now June rolls around and they're like all for it and asking us to like work with them and do a little event with them. And I think that it speaks volumes. I mean, it can be like, oh, they're trying, but it's like, we'll see later in the year.
Yeah.
You're still trying.
And you're like, I guess I'll do this. But yeah, there's sometimes brands that I feel like you're like, I definitely can't work with them even though they're throwing me money.
Yeah.
Because what they represent.
Yeah. Yeah. And it stings because it's like, that's a paycheck.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you got to look at it in the long haul of things.
Yeah.
Are
there any misconceptions about working with the creator community, or do you think brands are working with creators in the right way right now?
So it's a double-edged sword with this question, because I feel like, for a long time, I was the token LGBTQIA plus person in the campaign and whatever. And I was always honored to be that person. But now I see the diversity just skyrocketing. You see these campaigns with so many people that look different, and in turn, people, especially the youth, see themselves in these people who are on the big screen or they're like social media, whatever. And on the other side of it all, you could tell in a way when it's not organic for the brand and they're just doing it to be diverse. At the beginning it was an honor, and now it's kind of just like you raise your eyebrow at it a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, like inclusivity and diversity is so amazing to see with brands. It's just if it's organic and truthful to the brand or not.
Advice for content creators who see you and what you've been doing and how they should be working with brands.
I always have said, if you want to work with a brand, like put it out there. So for example, Celsius, I'll just use that random one. Love Celsius, love energy drinks. If you are, fitness girly or you drink Celsius often, promote the brand, because they will reach out to you. I thought back in the day, I think a lot of people think this way. It's like, I'm not going to promote it unless I'm getting paid for it. But it's actually the opposite, because it's an organic integration. So it's like, if you're drinking Celsius all the time, they're going to make you a brand ambassador. It's not like, oh my God, she's already doing it. No, they're going to promote you more because they know you love the brand.
In the next 5 years, where do you see this whole space going, digital media, your work?
I don't know. I see it just growing more and more. I don't know. I've been asked that before, and I'm just like, I don't know. I didn't imagine that it would grow in the way that it has the past 10 years. I think even like next year, we're going to see something that we're not expecting, and it's just going to keep growing and growing.
Do you think what you're saying, mindset is really key to everything?
Yeah.
Because this world is moving very quick, and it feels like we need to keep up and we could lose ourselves.
That's maybe one of the biggest things that I live by, mind over matter. Yeah. Honestly. In like life situations, relationships, career, like there's a lot of competition within the community. And I think that is like the absolute opposite way that we need to be handling this situation. Creators need to stand together. We need to stand together money-wise, because we're going to get more brand deals. We're going to see more success in our careers once we stand together. And there can't only just be like one of each, category. And I think that's That's advice that I would give people, and I could give my younger self even. I'm a very competitive person, and once you kind of just like let that go, you see it flourish more, your life and just your career.
So looking back and reflecting back at the 15 years of being online, why was it important to share so much of who you are?
You know, I've always been very authentic. I've always been just myself and not really overthought that and been unapologetically myself. I assume you don't want kids. No. Oh my God, I want so many kids. I scrolled through and there's a bunch of questions about family and stuff, but yes, I want kids. I want kids. I just was going through the motions of transitioning and living my life, living my late teen years, early 20s, and just recording it. But at the same time, I knew how big it was and I knew the impact that I was making because I would hear the feedback. You see people be tryhards, you see people try to fit in, try to be cool, try to be, something that they're not.
Yeah.
And I think, eventually people see through that.
I feel like that's so much part of your brand.
Yes. No, I've always been into storytelling. I love doing like story times, whether they're like wild or just sharing, a coming out video or whatever, who I was dating, what I was going through mentally. But I've always said that it never started out like that. It was always about the beauty. It was always about the lifestyle, the glamour of it all, what products I was loving, what hairstyle, whatever, all of that. And then, people get interested, as you do when you start watching somebody and getting invested in them. We all know that. We're like, we get nosy. We're like, who are they? Like, who are they off camera? And then once I started sharing, it was just so addicting to keep on sharing more and more and more. And then once I got that reward of just seeing people's reactions and relating to what I was going through, I was like, this is the best drug ever. YouTube. Like, let me just keep sharing. And it hasn't stopped. Like, life has, like, now I'm married. It's over a decade later. And it's like, I just look back and I'm like, wow, if I could tell that little human being back then where I would be now, it's mind blowing.
So you did take a break though, right? While you were going through all your fertility journey. Why was that important to take that beat? Because you share everything and yet you did take some time for yourself.
Yeah, that was such an intense time. I mean, not so much for me, but my husband, who's trans as well. We didn't even know that we were going to be able to create a biological embryo, let alone have the success that we did, because I'd been on hormones for 10 years and then I decided to get off hormones. I decided that I would only film certain things and I would, come back when I was ready. I said, I'm going to give this my all. And God forbid if I don't have a successful result in the end, after all of the work and discipline that I've put in, then so be it. And maybe it's not meant for me.
So yeah, you're not worried about like engagement of your brand or how much you're growing. Like, you don't feel that pressure?
No, I just like to live my life.
Gigi, how can I be more like you?
Well, no, I mean, honestly, it is a thought, it is so easy to spiral and think like that.
Yeah.
But you just got to stop yourself. It's not that deep. Isn't it funny that like back in the day, and we can both attest to this, that we were like, ooh, whenever you see like a YouTuber or like an online influencer bridge that gap into mainstream media, like that's a big win for us. Now it's almost like there's no gap. It's just basically social media is just so far in front.
Yep.
I try not to stress myself out about it again. I think it's really important just to like keep a level head, be normal. Don't, become such a freak about it. Because then I feel like you just lose who you are in the real world and online, and then it's not fun anymore again. But that's also why I have a team of people around me. I've worked with the same management for my entire career, PR agent, all that. It's like, that's let's keep that their job. And then like I could just be me.
Well, you are amazing. This has been fabulous, inspiring.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited to see you continue to grow and be you. We need more of that in this world and online.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
You're amazing.
Oh my God. Thank you.
This has been a pleasure. I needed this positivity. So thank you.
Hell yes.
Yay.